It's the Gitty Gang Show on Cigar Box Nation TV. It's the Gitty Gang Show on Cigar Box Nation TV. And we're coming to you live from CB Gitty. It's the Gitty Gang Show.
Gitty Gang Show.
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 It's the Gitty Gang Show on Cigar Box Nation TV.
Hey everybody! Welcome to the Gitty Gang Show, another fine Friday afternoon broadcast from myself, Ben Gitty. Got Glenn T. Watt over here and Mr. Nick Lanciano over there behind the producer's desk. It doesn't look like he has his camera on today. He's staying incognito. We welcome Nick back after his camping vacation last week. I was frantically mashing buttons, and at least 2/3 of it I got right last week. So thank you for joining us. Better than nothing. Batting 600. I just saw Marty Tauber's name come up on the comments there. Now, as you know, as we all know, Marty stopped by earlier today, dropped us off a fine box of donut holes, which I was just alone in the lunchroom shoving into my personal face hole. Nice. So thank you, Marty, for that. He came by to pick up some screws for Wicked Buckers, and you know, his Wicked Bucker hand-wound pickups there. And to drop off a couple of Wicked Bucker stickers that he made. Nice. Pretty cool stuff. I did not bring one in with me. And I brought one of my own stickers in here. Just came in today. Oval, 3x5 oval hobo bumper stickers. They say hobofiddle.com on in there.
Mine's going on my car today.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Well, you might not know this, but I've got a Ford truck. Not a single sticker on the damn thing. I'm going to put a hobo sticker on the back of my truck. Yeah, I don't even have a Gitty sticker on my own truck. Can you believe that? I've never been a big bumper sticker guy. Glenn Watt has at least one of every sticker we've ever made on his.
Yeah, got a couple.
Which seems like opposite. Seems like you would like untouched, pristine, and I'd be the slabbler everything. Anyway. All right, let's focus in here. Got a good show for you today, I hope. We got the full, triumphant, and multimedia enabled return of Walk Corner. We've got a video from Shane Speal where he's lavishing his spielery on our new hobo pickups. You might notice a trend recently. I've been on a hobo kick. Most of you know all that already. Uh-oh, Michael Capato has the flu.
Hey, that's terrible.
Sorry to hear that, Michael. Summertime sickness is just, hope it's not like, the typhus or whatever. Summertime.
Just getting. I'm making text over here.
He's playing Candy Crush here, folks.
Come
on. He's just going for that high score.
Trying to
beating the personal best.
I'm trying to find you all out there.
Oh,
there we go.
Well, I got them here if you need them. Yeah, we got it going on everywhere here.
Roger Pig, Shaq Collins, Kim. I'm assuming that's
Jim Morris,
Jim and Kim possibly. Damons,
Mrs. Giddy Baker out there.
Awesome. Bob Ross, and good to see you, brother. What you got going on today, Ben?
Well, I'm playing Hobo Fiddle number 5. This is my new one that has the Hobo Camp art on it by Farley. She just finished up a couple of new sketches today. Really cool stuff. I should have brought printouts of them. I didn't. Maybe next week. We'll have an art corner with Farley again here. Coming up soon.
It will be awesome.
So, alright, Walk Corner, what's the deal with Speal? We got an awesome feature of a new album that Travis Bowlin has released in the last week or so. If you don't know Travis, he's a Nashville-based blues musician who 3 years ago at Summer NAMM 2015 there in Nashville came by the booth that I was at, the CB Gitty booth there, and bought a kit. Bought a pure and simple cigar box guitar kit, put that together. He had been a blues musician before that with conventional guitars, and but just fell in love with homemade instruments. He's built I don't know how many dozen of the things now. I know he's well over 50. He might be approaching 100. He uses them in concert, used them on this album. His new album name is Secundus. Secundus. I think it might be his second album, and it's a play on the word second, but I'm not sure. But he gave us permission to play one full track. I bought the album yesterday, listened to it, found my favorite, a little something called Slow Cooker Man. Good old blues, deep bluesy sort of number. So we're going to be playing that along with a montage of photos of Travis and various other people. I'm in a couple of them. Got Johnny Lobo, Jonathan Griner, Rusty Taylor, Rob Roble, John Nickel. All sorts of familiar faces will be showing up in that. So we got that coming up. We're going to be talking about my next rail adventure coming up in just 4 days. Giddy hopping the rails to head to the home stomping grounds in northern Ohio for a family reunion. And then we're going to sign off. So that's what's coming up in today's show. But first, Glenn, we were working we were noodling around with a little something before the camera went live.
Yes.
I said, why don't we do that? And he's like, oh crap.
Give it a shot.
I saw it in his eyes, like, what? This was just fun. Now it's, all right, well. So it's kind of a little shuffle remix of an old Irish favorite. Let's see if we can get her going here. We did that song tune there, right when we were supposed to be doing another song. Why don't we run What's the Deal with Speal? We'll give you your weekly dose of the king himself, Mr. Shane Speal. And when we come back, we'll do a little hobo song for you.
I like it.
And then right into one corner.
Dun, dun, dun,
Bow, bow, bow.
Hey, Gitty Gang, thanks. It's Shane Speal, and here I am in my basement. So, if you guys have been following what's been going on this week, I have been putting this guitar through the test. The reason I'm putting it through the test is because of this pickup. This is the brand new CB Gitty Hobo pickup. 3-string, hand wound, and it's scatter wound, which means it's not done by a machine with perfect coils everywhere. No, this is done by hand, which gives each pickup a real distinct personality. But I'm not going to talk as much about the Hobo pickup. If you want to see it, check out the links we've shared on Cigar Box Nation earlier today, which I go through, and I actually put this through a recording studio test. But I want to talk about underwound pickups. I want to talk about magnetic pickups, and one of my favorite Cigar Box guitars, which has a similar pickup. So Okay, whenever I say underwound pickup, I'm talking about a pickup that's not as powerful as, say, your typical Strat pickup, or definitely not as powerful as a humbucker. What you have is it's a weaker signal, and if you mix a pickup that has a weaker signal with a scatter wound setup, you get this very treble, very crystalline, clear sound. Where now I'm cheating right now. I'm playing through a Roland Microcube that's sitting on my floor. It's right here. See? Roland Microcube. A Roland Microcube will make any guitar sound good because it's a modeling amp. What goes through here that goes into the Roland Microcube is then modeled as, you know, they used computer modeling or whatever. I don't know. Okay. But this pickup always has these, underwound pickups always have these crystalline clear, beautiful tones that no matter how much you crank a normal amp, it will stay clear for the most part. And there's certain songs that I love that for. There's other songs that I want total distortion where... You know, but guitars like this with these pickups in, I love for either doing ballads or doing some world music stuff. Now, the Hobo pickup reminds me of this, one of my favorite Cigar Box guitars. This is the Uncle Enos commemorative guitar. This was built for me. In fact, I can read it in here. February 20th, 2008, from Pat Cook of Arizona. And he sent me this guitar, and I've been playing it ever since. In fact, let me see. You can see the wear marks in here. I've made my way down through a few layers of plywood already. Now, this guitar has a hand-wound, scatter-wound pickup that Pat made himself. It's very clean, very clear. But also, he mated that with, if you look closely in here, there is a dobro cone hidden inside this guitar. And it is one of a three-part tricone, national tricone dobro cones. I'm pretty sure that's what he used in there. He either used one of the three or a ukulele dobro cone. So what you have is crystalline highs of this underwound, scatterwound pickup mixed with the snap of a dobro cone. And I have this tuned to my weird EEB tuning. And what happens, I only use this several times in each concert, just for 2 or 3 songs. But the songs I use them for are my big ballad, Tattoo of You, where... On a song like that, I don't want distortion. I want it clean so that I can sing over top. The other use I have for this guitar is whenever I do Mother Leads. Mother Leads is always saved for the middle of my shows. Usually at the beginning of the 3rd set. We wait until the audience is really in, and then we get all trippy. Because that is a song we extend and go into like Indian ragas. And being that this pickup is clean and snappy, mixed with the snappiness of a dobro cone, it's perfect for this. love this stuff. I use a heavier string in order to get this, because if the strings are too thin and too light, it doesn't snap back, and I can't do the fast picking like these heavier strings do. So I have like a 56, a 36, and a 16 here, EEB. And this setup is just magnificent. But it's all started from the tone of the underwound pickup. So if you guys are building and you're looking for a totally unique tone, and you don't want to use like overseas parts. You don't want to use a Squire Strat pickup, or just a factory made pickup. My recommendation is check out the hobo pickups from CB Gitty. They're hand wound right there in his factory. It's a cool little place. You should visit it. Hand wound in their workshop is more of what it is. And it has a really great tone, and it reminds me a lot of one of my favorite guitars here. So I've been babbling a little. It's been a little crazy. This weekend, if you're around central Pennsylvania, come on out. I am performing on Saturday at the Susquehanna Folk Festival. That's at Round Top Mountain Resort, Ski Round Top in central PA. JulyFolkFest.org has all the information. Shane Speal and the Snakes will take the stage at 3 p.m. Blues legend Rory Block will be there at 5. So, Gitty Gang, thank you so much for your time, guys. My name is Shane Speal, and look what's right over my shoulder. Look what's on the bookshelf right there. Shh. Something's coming real soon. Okay, see you guys. Bye-bye.
All right, welcome back, and thanks to Shane for putting that together. He's really pretty happy with how these pickups are working out, and we are too. Got a song for you now. I'm on the hobo fiddle. Glenn Watts on the upright bass here, the big old wash tub gut bucket bass. Gonna do an old train song. Jimmy Rogers wrote this song. A number of people have covered it. Hank Snow, Merle Haggard, all sorts of people have done this. The old song, Waiting for a Train, all around the water tank. You know, Jimmy Rogers is one of the godfathers of country music. He was one of the first kind of superstars playing what they called back then hillbilly music. That's what they called it, hillbilly music. And I just call it good old down-home music. So, all right. Here we go, all around the water tank, in the key of G. Nice and slow. All around the water tank, waiting for a train, 1,000 miles away from home, sleeping in the rain. I walked up to a brakeman to give him a line of talk. He said, if you've got money, I'll see that you don't walk. I haven't got a nickel, not a penny can I show. Get off your railroad car. And he slammed that boxcar door. No yodeling here today. Well, he put me off in Texas, a place I dearly love. The wide open spaces all around me, and the moon and stars above. Nobody seems to want me, nor lend me a helping hand. I'm on my way from Frisco Bay, headed back to Dixieland. Well, my pocketbook is empty. My heart is filled with pain. I'm 1,000 miles away from home, waiting on a train. Yes, I'm 1,000 miles away from home, just waiting on a train. All right, well, with apologies to Mr. Jimmy Rogers, that is Waiting for a Train. And now,
Well done.
thank you. Without further ado, we've got Walk Corner.
Nice.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
Woo-hoo-hoo.
All right.
You're sitting or standing, buddy?
Sitting,
Either one.
I'll sit if you don't mind,
Yeah,
Nick.
that's fine. Yeah.
You're awesome. Thank you. All right, so, hi, it's Walk Corner. Now, as you likely already know, when you buy something from us, CB Gitty Crafter Supply, you're sent a link from us that allows you to submit pictures and a little bit of story of the things that you've built with our parts to our website. We feature them on our website. I comb through those things, which are many, and then come once a week, ideally once a week, here on the Gitty Gang Show and let you know what it is that we found that's super special and we're proud to share of the things that you've built, the stories that you've shared. And I just for a frame of reference that you know, we get a lot of submissions. So like I said last week, this is not a popularity contest. I'm not trying to make one kid cooler than the next. There's just so many cool things to share, and it's really a challenge to pick just a couple things. And for instance, I mean, I've got a list of 25 people here that I could not include in today's Gitty Gang Show. But for instance, one of them is Brian L., who makes these incredibly sick guitars. Dave Linus, a longtime Cigar Box Nation member, who was, speaking of Marty Tauber, who was here earlier today, Dave Linus used another Wickenbucker pickup on his half-box guitar that he shared with us, and he had a little video in his submission as well. It sounds awesome. Dave plays super awesome, builds super nice stuff.
Heck of an artist.
He is an artist. Makes beautiful slides. James H. used one of our box kits with the, I don't know if you're already familiar with this, hopefully you are, but Ben has box kits, and you can order them with, you can submit your own graphics to the website, and Ben will put these graphics on top of the box lid, and you can make you can make whatever you want, but make these guitars out of them. And James H. made a really super cool one with Jesse James, the likeness of Jesse James. Jerry F., who had no idea what Cigar Box guitars were, saw an article by Shane Speal about an amplifier kit from a month ago in Guitar World, and got the amp kit, built it, looks awesome. Jerry, you're awesome. I don't know if you're out there, but I'd love to see you if you are. Joy A. and Linda W. I'm bringing this up without even getting to the pictures yet. I'm bringing up Joy A. and Linda W. and Diane from last weekend as well. We have women, I know that we have women submitting, more and more women submitting photos, and it really, I find that encouraging. I am proud to know that I am part of a community that is slowly but surely diversifying, and there's more and more people who are artists. I don't care about gender. It's artists coming together to build and play these things that you and I love, and I think that's awesome. So thank you, Joy, if you're out there, for sharing your first guitar with us. We also had Kevin J., who made an amplifier out of a camera using one of our amp kits. I think if Michael Booth, if you're out there, you would love to have seen that. And I don't know, a lot of people. Now, to get to some of the things I'd like to share with you, however, the images and such, Nick is kind enough to patiently wait for me to ask to see Daryl B's first photo by Daryl B. And Daryl writes, as you see here, I played, as Daryl writes, for the 7-uppers in Little League about 55 years ago. In college, back in the 70s, I drove a street sweeper and collected 7-Up crates at night to make a place to keep my books. Awesome amp and guitar here. And the next image Nick has, Daryl B writes, I still have all the crates, but 2 of them have become a 4-string and its amplifier that I call Lucky Number 7. I cut the 7-Up logo out of one box to make the headstock, so you can see that there. Now, Daryl's got the amplifier for the sound hole, for the speaker hole. He cut the 7-Up logo out of the amplifier and used it as the headstock on his guitar. Genius stuff, Daryl, and you may not be able to see it real well, especially if you're on a mobile device, but that speaker behind the speaker hole, it's back there. It's really super cool stuff. And the next image that Nick has for you from Daryl B, he goes on to say that the tailpiece is made from a light switch plate and a bottle opener, which of course is apropos, and the volume and tone knobs from bottle caps, also awesome 7-Up bottle caps. And the next image that Nick has for you, Daryl writes, I used a wood burner to sign, I love this, Daryl uses a wood burner to sign his guitar with a Celtic raven and music notes that play his initials, D-E-B. I think that's just genius stuff. D-E-B is music on the music stuff. Good stuff, Daryl. Anyways, I love it. All CB Gitty internals on the inside of the guitar. Great service throughout the build. Thank you very much. And I know that great service all came from Kim and Nick. So hats off to these people for making this business run the way that it does. So thank you guys very much. And next we have Jason G. And Jason has been here before because Jason makes awesome stuff. He also shares some really cool stories. This happens to be a hobo and fiddle inspired hobo fiddle. And as Jason writes for this image, I usually build 4-string guitars, but a friend gave me an old Brooks & Company box from the 30s, and it inspired me to try my hand at a hobo fiddle. Knowing the legend of the hobo fiddle as told by Ben Gitty, off camera, I wanted to make it look weathered and old. In the next image, Jason G writes, I started looking up aging techniques for scale models and found, appropriately enough, the most helpful were on model railroading sites. Using a mixture of white vinegar and steel wool, I was able to give the oak neck a weathered, almost black color. In the next image, Jason writes, I also found that by adding it to any of the metal parts, I could simulate rust when it dried. Got a little carried away and let the rust drip down the box, but I think it adds some realism. And I agree, I think that box looks awesome. Especially awesome because of the dripping, which is we get so many neat traits on our little instruments because we're just making up as we go along sometimes, and you get some really cool stuff out of it. And then the last image for Jason G, Jittery J as it turns out on Cigar Box Nation. Jason writes, the headstock features a cool tag from the New York Central and Hudson River line in tribute to my hometown, as well as a conductor's skeleton key bridge, which of course is out of the picture, but it has a plucky sound and is a lot brighter than anything else I've built, Jason writes about his hobo fiddle. We'll definitely be making more of these in the future. And as well you should, sir, because you are a heck of an artist. I think you're out there today. Anyways, thank you very much, Jason. It's good to see you. And in the next set of images, and actually in reference to the whole custom image box kit thing, this here is from Stephen W. Didn't have a lot to say about it, which is fine. We're going to let the images speak for him. So you can see here that he used one of our box kits, submitted the image to Ben. Ben put that image on the lid of the box kit, shipped that and all the other hardware to Steve W. and he assembled this guitar. You can see the picture of the, as anyone want to take a guess, I'm going to let this ride for a second. Anyone want to take a guess what that truck is? I'll let it go for a second. Now in the next image we'll give you a closer image, or a closer picture of it. There's the box lid. You can see how awesome the ink transfer that Ben uses on these box lids, how awesome it looks. This is the image that Steve chose for his custom box picture. He said it's a best friend's pickup. Any guesses? Not yet, and I'm not going to make...
Looks like a Dodge.
Yeah, I'm not going to make anybody wait. I'll tell you it's a 49 Chevy.
Chevy!
Hey! So there you go. All right, now last, this is bear with me here, this is an awesome story. And the last set of images from Ron L., a good long-time customer. I'm glad to see you out here, Ron. Ron writes about this, and I know it's a little cockeyed, but that's my problem. I did that. This is a Gitty image transfer, another one of these image transfers of my dad. I love this. This is a Gitty image transfer of my dad onto the pre-made box kit that CB Gitty supplies. I installed the Rod Piezo and preamp kit, which we love, and Shane Speal has changed the Cigar Box guitar movement with that stuff. Ron writes that it sounds awesome. I know it does, man. The image was featured in the 1930 Harley-Davidson Enthusiast magazine. I tried to connect a story with my builds as often as I can. The story to go with this instrument is as follows from a first-hand account in a letter by my cousin in Fort Morgan, Colorado. And so in this next image that Nick has for you, and just here's the story that goes with it. And I love this. Again, this is from a first-hand account in a letter by Ron's cousin in Fort Morgan, Colorado. And I quote, when I was about 8 years old and I was in our front yard and Uncle George came roaring right onto our grass going like 60 on his motorcycle. Scared me half to death. I thought he was going to run me over, but I was glad to see him. He asked me if I wanted to go for a ride with him. I said yes. I climbed up behind Uncle George and we took off down Meeker Street like a rocket. We made it to Main Street in about half a minute and about another minute to downtown. We stopped in front of the theater and he told me to get off and stand by the curb in front of the theater and he would be right back. He took off and soon I heard him roaring towards me, riding his motorcycle, standing on his head. I was thrilled, but who wasn't so thrilled was the local police officer. He gave your dad a real tongue lashing and said he couldn't believe a grown man would pull such a trick. He ranted and raved for a few minutes, then calmed down. Uncle George said he would not do that again, so they shook hands and off we went down to out of town toward Denver. That story got around fast, and when I got to school on Monday, all the kids asked me when he would be back. It was the talk of the town for several weeks. And I feel really good that Ron would share that story with us, knowing that it was possibly going to be shared with all of you. I'm really proud to know that we do things, Ben does things for all of us that allow you to have this special image on a special thing that you make for yourself or whomever, and you get to have a bit of your life kind of memorialized on a musical instrument. And I'm just really proud to share that. So that's what I got. And that has been Watt Corner. Hey! So thanks.
Well, I remember both of those box prints. The one that you just showed of the black and white photo with the Harley Davidson. The original, the scan that he sent me, it was a lot grayer. And I worked with that photo in Photoshop for a little while to kind of bring the blacks out, increase the contrast, so it would make a stronger print onto the wood. So I always try to enhance the images before printing them. Did some work with that old 49 Chevy image too, so it would get a nice strong print. So I really enjoy doing those. I like seeing what people submit. We had one earlier this week, a guy, I get presumably a picture, like a professional photograph of his wife. So yeah, all sorts of good stuff. It's fun stuff, yeah. I had some other things I wanted to follow up on. Oh, the New York Central, that guitar with the New York Central token on the top there. I'm gonna be riding those old New York Central tracks here in a few days, so that's gonna be a good thing. But before we get to that, we've got the song track, Slow Cooker Man from Travis Bowlin's new album entitled Secundus. You can get a digital download of it on Amazon. I believe you can also get a physical CD. Travis is really an amazing musician. He's got a voice. Well, you'll be hearing it here shortly, but his voice, he sounds like a 60-year-old man who's been smoking for 50 of those 60 years. That deep, growling, powerful blues voice. So take a listen to this. We got a photo slideshow that'll go on, so you're not just staring at a still image. So we'll be back in about 4 minutes.
frying pan.
Now that's the blues right there. I'll tell you what, that's some powerful stuff. I'm glad I love to see those hearts and likes going by. We enjoy helping to support Travis and other musicians out there making music. He used homemade instruments. He's got a Rob Roble, I think it's a Rob Roble 6-stringer, and then a 3-string cigar box guitar, and he used them on a lot of those tracks. And actually, that album has been like ranking on some charts. Like on Amazon, it got up to like the number 3 blues album. So love to be a part of homemade musicians doing well. So good stuff.
Yeah, buddy.
And I want to thank Nick for reminding us that we've got a giveaway going on, folks. Oh, actually, I think it was Michael Capato who brought it up. Thanks, flu-stricken Michael Capato, remembering the stuff that I'm forgetting. This hobo fiddle right here, this is the 11th in my Series 41, not currently tuned up. It's the 11th in the series. I'm giving that away, and all you've got to do to enter is send us a short video, basically giving us a shout out to the Gitty Gang. Say, hey Gitty Gang, it's insert your name here from insert whatever you want to say about where you're from, as much or as little as you want to say. Play a little bit if you're a picker, or whatever you want. We've so far had 19 videos sent in, a couple of doubles, so we'll call it 17 entries to win this hobo fiddle. Next week, this is the final week and then we'll announce the winner. I'm actually going to be away next week, so I don't think we'll announce the winner then, but the following week, to win this hobo fiddle, all you got to do is send us a video, and then all of the videos we're sent, Nick's gonna put them together into probably 2 separate montages, so it's not too long, and then we'll be running them on the Gitty Gang Show. So, yeah, buddy. Yeah, Rusty Taylor. Rusty built, maybe it's Rusty's 6-string and Rob's 3-string, or vice versa. So yeah, good job, you guys.
Looks like Jim Burt's got an interesting question. When is the Gitty Gang album coming out soon? Now, I know there's still something that may not be an album coming out, but we do have a performance a little bit later that might be discussed in this this show. Is that correct?
We do?
We don't?
Oh, yeah, we do. That is coming up.
Hey!
Might as well talk about it now, since we're on that item of the agenda. Earlier this week, I was talking to Jim Lewin, who organizes the Pennsylvania Cigar Box Guitar Festival down there in York, Pennsylvania. And this is the 9th year for that fest. Glenn, you've been to a couple of them. Several of them. Shane has been at, I think, all of them. And somehow, during the discussion of sponsorship, you know, we help to sponsor that so that the musicians can get paid and all of that. Somehow, Boxcar Ben Gitty, ended up with a 1-hour slot on the main stage. Ooh. So yes, there will be a performance. I'm going to be doing some of my favorite train songs, telling a couple of stories, playing hobo fiddles and whatnot. Not entirely sure everything that's going to make up the show yet. I've never done a solo stage show of that duration before.
It will be live streamed.
Live streamed to the world.
On YouTube.
Yeah, it's gonna be a thing. So, Gitty Gang album, I've started messing around with some tracks and such. Something will hopefully eventually happen, but for now we just like sitting here and having fun live, you know? Yeah. So yes, the Pennsylvania Cigar Box Guitar Festival, August 25th, I believe. Saturday, August 25th. And we got another Cigar Box Guitar Fest coming up not this weekend, but next weekend, August 4th and 5th, down in Missouri. Got the name of the town, Warsaw? Something like that. The Ozark Cigar Box Guitar Festival. Nick's got a link where you can find it. Hey, there's Travis Bowlin. Travis,
hey.
We just ran your thing, man. You missed it. But don't worry, you can go back and watch it once we're off. So yeah, the Ozark Cigar Box Guitar Festival coming right up. 2 days, going to be a good time. Our buddy AJ Gaither going to be down there playing, and a bunch of other good people. So glad to see that happening down there in the Ozarks. And CB Gitty helping to sponsor that one again. Mailed the check earlier this week.
And if I may, I don't remember the exact location, but during the same weekend, so not this weekend, but the next one, there's the Carolina Box Guitar Club meeting as well.
Cool.
Yeah, every month I think they have a. You can find it on Cigar Box Nation underneath the events section or events page. The Carolina Box Guitar Club meeting, which is at Big Al's Pub and Grubberia, and I think the Michiganders Club has another meeting coming up next month as well. Hopefully, I'll be a bit better prepared to tell you about it next week. If you don't go yourself onto Cigar Box Nation, which you should, because all issues there, I think Ben's about to address.
Especially now that it's back up and fully operational. We had 3 days earlier this week where, I don't know if you know, but short story long, which is my way, Google Chrome, which is the biggest web browser these days, recently put a change through where if a website isn't encrypted, isn't HTTPS, it would throw a warning. So I was like, well, crap, we got to do something about that. So I made the change on Cigar Box Nation. It was only supposed to take, hours to apply. Well, it took quite a few hours, about 72 hours almost. So it is secure, the site's secure, it was not hacked, nothing horrible has happened. It should be back up and ready to roll now. There's a couple of little lingering mixed content issues that we're sorting through, but Cigar Box Nation is alive and well.
Yes, sir.
And yeah. So we got another song to do for you, but first, I just want to say, I've hinted a couple times, I'm going to be heading to Ohio, my home stomping grounds of northern Ohio, leaving Dover, New Hampshire at 9:30 in the morning on a bus, getting down to Boston South Station, and boarding an Amtrak train, the Lakeshore Limited train that heads west out of Boston through Massachusetts, Albany, all the way across New York, Erie, Pennsylvania, Cleveland, Ohio, and pulling into Sandusky, Ohio, scheduled at 4:15 a.m. So that's nice and bright and early there. And then spending some time in Ohio, my dad's side of the family having a reunion on Saturday the 5th or 4th, whichever day that is. And then visiting with my mom and dad and all sorts of people. And then Monday morning, getting back on the train at 4:15 and heading back east to Boston. So it's going to be a good trip. Now, the trip there is kind of overnight. You get on at 1 and then you go through the day. You see most of Massachusetts, some of New York, then it gets dark. Well, on the way back, it's going to start dark and then get light. So I'll kind of get to see the things that I missed the first time. That's great. Got a lot of writing to do. I'm working on a book and some other things, some reading to do. So having those 30 plus hours of train travel, I'm going to be able to get a lot done.
That's a couple of chapters, right?
That's a chapter or two, I hope.
Want to say hello to Del Puckett and Charles Dustin Orons.
Matt Simpson out there,
Hello.
Magic Daddy himself.
Yeah. And actually, before we get on to that song,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is not
We're not done.
This is not a planned segment, so I'm just kind of, and I'm not trying to hijack this thing.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I'm not. Don't worry about it.
Lots going off the rails. on this
Arrow
railroad
off
show.
the rails.
This is Rusty Taylor, who's out there, makes his own bridges, his own hardtail bridges. So you may appreciate this, Rusty. Rusty does a fantastic. In fact, not too far from now, I think Rusty's got some things going on at his school that I hope we get to see more of Rusty. There, he's helping students that may have some challenges to build their own musical instruments. But that being said, we are trying, among all the other things that we try to do here, Ben recently put out a scarf joint miter box kit that you can put together yourself. And we continue to try. We're winding our own pickups now. We're just taking another stab at something. Rusty, you may be able to appreciate this. So this is just a rod piezo, just like Shane always talks about. Rod piezos right underneath the, your bridge. But in this case, the bridge is done by our good man Jason out in the shop. We're taking a stab at some hardwood. Get them in the shot. Some hardwood hardtail bridges that you can put on. Use rod piezo right underneath. Use it with the preamp, the equalize that we have. This guitar actually doesn't have it. You know how good it sounds going through that little amp. I had it just plugged in. But it's an all-wood, American-made, in Rochester, New Hampshire, CP Gitty Workshop, hardwood hardtail bridge. And I'm just like, and I don't want to beat a drum too often, but I really appreciate the fact that you and me and the rest of us can get stuff made in America, which I know not all of our audience is in America, so forgive me. But I really appreciate that we put out so much American-made stuff right here, a tiny little team, and this little business, independently owned and operated, putting out American-made stuff with American stuff that goes into making it by people that live right within mere miles of the shop. Now, that may just sound like, those may just sound like words to you, just words. But I know that in your hometown that you have people that you want to support, that you have people that you want to support you. And that's part of the magic of this business, is that we make so much and continue to make more things that may not be in your hometown, but they're in your country, man. Like, we're all working together to make each other,
or even just, you know, taking it worldwide within the cigar box guitar community. You know, I'm happy to be able to carry things made like Marty Tauber's Wicked Buckers and Janice Wilson Hughes' ceramic slides and Turkey Chicken CBG's Smoking Bridges and Ron Hall's spoon slides. You know, being able to carry stuff made by folks out there in this community.
Yes.
You know, for me, it's more than just being made in this country, or, you know, it's about that bigger community as well. So,
all right, thank you for that.
yeah.
There we go.
See Henry Lohman out there. Dwayne Yarborough came on in. Good to see you, everybody. All right, we got two. Believe it or not, we're going to do a couple more train songs. I know it's a shock. All right, so we're both, I'm going to stand back up for this. Nick will zoom the camera out so we don't cut off Glenn's head. Ah, there he is. Woo! All right, so two train songs. The first has been performed, it was written back in the 20s, soon after the wreck happened. Wreck of the old 97. You know, on the last time I rode Amtrak on the Lakeshore Limited, I did a live broadcast from the train, sang this song. Singing a song about a train wreck while riding a train. I like to think it brings good luck. And then we're going to go into an old Kingston Trio favorite, especially a favorite up here in New England, about a man in the great city of Boston who has some trouble with the local transit down there. Well, they gave him his orders at Monroe, Virginia, saying, Steve, you're way behind time. This is not 38, but it's the old 97. You must get her into Spencer on time. Well, he turned and he said to his black greasy fireman, well, shovel in a little more coal. And when we cross that old wide old mountain, you will see the old 97 road. Well, it's a mighty hard road from Lynchburg to Danville with a line on a 3-mile grade. It was on that grade that he lost his air brakes. You can see what a jump he made. Well, he was going down the grade, making 90 miles an hour when the whistle broke into a scream. They found him in the wreck with his hands on the throttle. He scolded to death by the steam. Where the telegram, it came to the Washington station, and this is how it read. That brave engineer that run the old 97, he's lying in old Danville dead. Well, now all you ladies, don't you take my warning and listen now and learn. Don't speak harsh words to your good loving husband, he will leave you and never return. And did he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's a man who never returned. Well, let me tell you a story about a man named Charlie on a tragic and fateful day. He put 10 cents in his pocket, kissed his wife after the conductor told him one more nickel, Charlie couldn't get off of that tree. And did he ever return? No, he never returned, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's a man who never returned. Well, now all night long Charlie rides through the stations crying, what will become of me? How can I afford to see my sister in Chelsea or my brother down in Roxbury? And Charlie's wife goes down to the Scully Square station every day at 2:15. And through the open window she hands Charlie a sandwich as the train goes rumbling through. And will he ever return? No, he'll never return, and his fate is still unlearned. He may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's a man who'll never return. Well, now you citizens of Boston, don't you think it's a scandal how the people have to pay and pay? Like the fare increase vote for George O'Brien, people Charlie off the MTA. Or else he'll never return, no, he'll never return. His fate is still unlearned. Poor old Charlie, he may ride forever neath the streets of Boston. He's a man who never returned. Yes, he's a man who never returned. Whew, boy, that's a long medley, isn't it?
Well done, sir.
Thanks.
That's a lot of words.
That's a lot of words. Good
Oh,
Lord.
Yes.
You got to remember when to breathe when you're singing songs like that, because if you miss one, good Lord, you're in a heap of trouble. So next week's show, we're not quite sure what it's going to be yet. I might try to do something from Ohio or pre-record something in a train yard and send it. We're not sure yet. We'll see what happens as it gets closer. You know, I realized that I was supposed to be playing the 6-string during all of that mess, wasn't I? But here we are again, nearly at the 1 hour mark. Woo! Every week we worry we're not going to have enough content to fill the show. But somehow we manage. Well, it's the Gitty Gang Show on Cigar Box Nation TV. Say it's the Gitty Gang Show on Cigar Box Nation TV. And we came to you live from CB Gitty. All you need is a sticker box and some strings. I say all you need is a sticker box and some strings. Whether you put them all together, you know she's gonna ring. What you got over there, Grandma? I got nothing. It's the Gitty Gang Show. Gitty Gang Show. Say the Gitty Gang Show. Gitty Gang Show. It's the Gitty Gang Show. Gitty Gang Show. Say the Gitty Gang Show. Gitty Gang Show. It's the Gitty Gang Show on Cigar Box Nation TV. Yeah. just, yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Hey, this hobo fiddle I've been playing all day is available on cbgitty.com. Thanks, Matthew, Angie Borders, Jason Gleason. He was out there, I think, the whole time.
Yeah.
I've had fun today.
Yeah.
It's a good way to end a Friday, isn't it?
Not bad.
I think.
Yeah.
I know it looks like we just sit up here and make it all up as we go, but there is some preparation that goes into it. Some shows more than others. That's all I got.
And when you get a well-produced show, it's because of that guy right there.
No, it's a team effort.
Mashing the buttons. All right, well, that's all we got. Sorry, I kind of messed up the ending.
Have a great weekend.
Have a good, great, wonderful weekend, everybody. Last weekend.